What's up, guys? Manny, Carrera, your real estate resource, and this is episode number 6 of Whiskey Wednesday podcast sessions, where we sit with business owners, influencers, entrepreneurs, movers, and shakers over a glass of some fine whiskey. Today, we're gonna be drinking Delmore 12 year, and I'm gonna be joined by my guest. This gentleman is an entrepreneur, he's a business owner, and he's also a Utep graduate, David Trejo. What's up, David?
What's up, man?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for being on our episode.
Thanks for having me,
How
man.
you feeling right now?
Good, man.
Yeah?
Long day of work, but
Long day?
yes, sir.
Cool, bro. Long day for me as well. I know parking was crazy right now. There's a Chihuahuas game right now. These guys are actually national champions, so no wonder there's so much damn parking issues right now. But we made it. We're here. So excited to have you. Excited for you to share your story with us. I've known you for a while now.
Yeah.
We've known each other for some years. We work together. We could talk a little bit about that in a bit, but kind of just want to pass this over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the people listening on iTunes and on YouTube who you are, who David Trejo is, and what do you do?
Okay. So how Manny said, I'm a local business owner. I wasn't born here, but I feel like I've lived here long enough that I feel like I'm part of El Paso. I was actually born in Modesto, California, which is a small city by the Bay Area. Moved here when I was about 5 years old.
Nice.
My folks are actually from down here. My mom's actually from across the border. So like I said, I do have like a really Hispanic background.
When did your family or when did your mom move over here to the States?
So actually, my mom moved to the States when I was born, because they wanted a better life for me.
Right.
My dad was American. He was born in El Paso. So they met down that road back then, and eventually I ended up in California somehow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I ended up down there, but like I said, I've been here since I was like 5 years old. So El Paso's home. I still have family back in California, but like I said, El Paso is definitely home. I went to school here as well.
Yeah. So your whole life growing up has been in El Paso.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Basically, I mean, before 5, but I probably don't remember.
I don't remember anything
much, yeah.
before like 7. So
Yeah. So there you go.
I was probably like somebody completely different before 7 years old. So
Definitely, I think we all are.
yeah, right. So you have a lot going on for you. I mean, you've definitely accomplished a lot. How old are you? If you want to share it. 27 years old. So you've definitely accomplished a lot. You are a business owner. You own a fresh out car wash and barbershop.
Yes, sir.
You also are a entrepreneur. You own your own clothing.
Yes. Something that I'm working on. Something on the
Nice.
backbone is something silent, but little by
Awesome.
little, trying to work into it. Cool. My main thing right now is fresh out car wash and barbershop. So it was combining two things. Let me tell you a little bit of the background of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So my dad started as a detailing. My dad was a hard labor type of person. Not really went to school focused. He's just a hustler,
Yeah.
straight to the grind.
I know that life.
He was a detailer, man, for a business owner here in El Paso. Asked for a management position, and the owner never wanted to give it to him. So my dad went his entrepreneurial way, started his detailing business. Been in that business for over 15 years now. So once I grasped that business, the auto business and stuff like that, I grew up around it, and so I decided to combine two of my favorite places. I don't know for you, Manny, but when you get a haircut, it's like your time. You're trying to get a fresh cut.
Yeah, definitely. It's like that's like kind of getting getting our nails
exactly.
done. Get a little spa day.
Yeah. That's the male version of a spa day, right?
Right.
And I feel really comfortable going to a barbershop. You get to know your barber and stuff like that. So then, also what I thought of was one time I went to go get a haircut. I was having to go get a haircut, right? Mm-hmm. Running late, trying to get my car washed. Had some family coming in from out of town, wanted to go out with them. So fresh cut, fresh car. So I went ahead and rushed to my barber.
To northeast, or you went to the east.
Yeah. So actually, I had to go east side that time, and it was a 50-20 minute drive. So I'm like swerving through cars and stuff, and when I'm sitting there getting my haircut, I'm just like, you know what? My barber takes a good 30-40 minutes. I think it's the same amount of time you get your car cleaned. So
definitely,
if you walk out with a fresh haircut,
your car is fresh too. You're ready to go.
Yeah, you're weekend ready, man. Whether you have a date or I don't know, if you have family coming in, or maybe you're going out of town. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool concept. I mean, when you first started, how long have you been in business?
It's barely 7 months, believe it or not. We're 7 months in. Like I said, we do have the background of my dad having the detailing business.
Right.
So we have a little bit of that business evolved into this one. It's a new concept. I think El Paso's kind of growing right now, and bringing these cool concepts, something different to the city was something I definitely wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, so far so good, man. We were actually aired on TV. Maybe like 3 months in. It was pretty cool, man. We were there one day. I think it was like my dad still helps me out with the business because he's still kind of like the mind behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm 27, but I'm still relatively young compared to the years of experience my dad
You're
had.
never too old to learn and to be a student, So.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs maybe here locally, they try to kind of do it on their own, you know what I mean?
Right.
But maybe sometimes you gotta reach out to maybe your pops, a friend, a
definitely.
colleague. So, like I said, my dad's still the backbone there, and he still pushes me, and it helps me a lot throughout my days. So, like I said, we do have the background of that detailing business. And like I said, I just kind of put two sentences together. I said, kill two things in one. Going back to the TV, it wasn't something that I called the TV station and said, hey, can you come interview me? It was Memorial Day weekend, I believe, and one of their anchors was passing by the shop, and he found it interesting, so he turned back. He turned back, man, and he's like, hey, you know what? He kind of went in there and tried to get the experience first. He went in there for a haircut. We had no idea.
He wanted to see what it was about.
Yeah, exactly. So he wanted to kind of get a feel for it, So I guess he really liked the concept and the way he was, greeted and the time he was there. So he said, hey, can I put you guys on TV? Or can you put you guys on K Fox and Channel 4? And I'm like, hey, let's do it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, yes, please. And it helped us a lot, man. Like Facebook wise, they put us on their Facebook, so we gained some followers. So I mean, when you start a small business, maybe not one of these big chains like your Top Golf or or these other big chains that are coming into El Paso that have like massive amount of cash behind it.
Name behind it.
Exactly.
The brand is already very well established.
Exactly.
Pepsi, Coke,
Exactly.
Top Golf.
So like what I tell a lot of people sometimes is support your local businesses, because these businesses are probably like invested their whole lifetime savings to make this business.
Right.
And I mean, luckily we do have a couple of local shops, dad and mom shops, that have been here for a long time or they're just open. So I always encourage everybody, support local.
Yeah, definitely.
Small businesses is the backbone of our city and of the United States as well, So I firmly believe in that.
Every business was a small business at one point.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
No matter how successful. But cool. I mean, you definitely have a cool concept on your hands. Get a car wash and a haircut at the same time. And I know for a lot of guys that's usually done on the weekend anyways.
Exactly.
You usually do those two things at the same time, especially if you have a car
and you want it clean
and you want to look clean. So that's cool, man. So I know you're mentioning a lot of your dad, and I feel like your dad had a big influence on your life. What you told me about your dad working at the detail shop, he wanted to be a manager. They never gave it to him, so he quit and did his own thing.
He took it was a coin flip, man. You gotta take risk in business. The whole thing behind it was, and the one thing that my family has been able to kind of teach me along the way is there's gonna be tough times,
Right.
And I remember when it first aired, man. I think I went out to celebrate with a couple of friends to a local bar, and I ran into you, and I remember you told me, hey, don't quit, And I mean, I think me and you have somewhat the same mentality,
Yeah.
We're trying to make an impact in the city, and I still remember you told me, don't quit, like keep going. It's gonna be hard, and definitely it has been hard. 7 months in, good months, bad months, okay months, months where you gotta reach into your personal pocket, and kind of keep it going.
It's a struggle. Any business, especially when there is overhead, because nowadays there's a lot of different types of business. There's network marketing. There's businesses where you could just run off your phone, off your tablet, but there's also other businesses where you have employees, you have rent. You have to pay insurances. You have to do all these utilities and things like that, So there's a lot of overhead. And when it comes down to starting a business, it's tough no matter who you are, no matter what. Even having a lot of experience, it's tough. It's always a scary thing. And I do remember that day seeing you out I saw you out. I saw you on TV, and
yeah,
and,
it had just aired maybe like
Yeah, yeah.
an hour before heading out.
Yeah, bro, and I think, just knowing you, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about how we met, but knowing you and knowing, I've known you and I've talked to you in our first job that we worked together.
Definitely.
And I've always saw that in you. I always saw that potential in you. I always saw that entrepreneurial spirit in you. But I think even, at the job we started at was a good, and me and Sosa were actually talking about this because all three of us here, my marketing team, my guest David, and myself, we've all worked for Diamond Wireless, Verizon. So I think it's a good foundation. It's a good soiling pot for seeds to go in and, for you to start. But so cool, man. We got into, a little bit about one of your businesses, Fresh Out. I want to go a little bit back, before the businesses. I know you are, one cool attribute that you have is you're also a Utep graduate. You graduated from Utep here in El Paso. What did you study?
Entrepreneurship. Actually, it's business with a focus on entrepreneurship.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah, they do. Neither did I. So as I was going to school, I was just a business major, and then obviously you have to pick between finance, marketing, stuff like that. But based on like my family background and stuff like that, I kind of felt like going into entrepreneurship was something that I really wanted, and basically like through the business school, I got a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of marketing, you get a little bit of finance, accounting, stuff like that. Like your business stuff. And I really enjoyed my entrepreneurship classes, my innovation classes, which was, innovations coming up with something new. Like for example, like my barbershop car wash, something that I actually built a business plan for to one of my innovation class.
Right.
Once I thought about the idea, I was still attending school, and it was something that I did like a small business plan for, and like I said, they all contributed in some aspects to like what I really want to do after school. You know. And as I was going to school, man, it's tough because for me, like I wouldn't say I was committed to like coming out of high school and I wanted to go to college. I was actually out of all my friends, I was actually one of the ones that didn't go to college right away.
Took a little break.
I took a semester off.
I took a little break too before starting to college.
So what happened, Manny, is that my friends, man, were like, "Hey, man, what are you doing in your life?" And like, you're not going to school, and they were kind of like laugh at me. So like, at the moment I was like, oh, should I go military? Should I go Navy? I just, it was that pause in my life where I just didn't know what direction to go.
I think everybody goes through that after high school,
Yeah, and it's like, you don't even think of it like when you're a freshman in high school and it goes by so fast that like when you're like, I'm graduating tomorrow, and you're like, what am I gonna do? What's next?
I'm gonna have to adult tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does it start tomorrow, or do I have some time to chill?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So so I took a small break to just kind of regroup in my mind what I wanted to do. So I decided to go back to school and took my basics and stuff like that. I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do or which direction. I just thought it was the right thing to do was to go to school,
Right.
And so like throughout my college experience, I took my basics. I took probably a couple of breaks in between. Just the fact that I wanted to work and and make some kind of income while I was going to school, which is really tough to kind of level out both, go to school and work,
because it's hard.
Yeah, because at the end of the day you do have some bills, and you have stuff to pay, and
it's the circle of life.
Yeah, so like
you gotta work.
So it was something that I had to balance, and I wouldn't say that like I was like a straight A student, but one thing behind me and something that my family is giving me, it's that the fact of hustling, working hard towards something, and
your work ethic.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you could be the smartest one in the room, but if your work ethic isn't there, you could go to school and everything, and maybe you won't do the homework. You know what I mean?
Hard work always overpowers talent, any and every single day. And that's a proven fact. No matter how good you are, and I actually saw a meme. I'm pretty sure it was a meme. It's in my head. That usually the people that were the most popular in school aren't doing aren't happy right now.
Yeah.
You know, that there's not to say that somebody's doing better than somebody else, because at the end of the day, it's are you happy?
Yeah.
But those people that, you know, were the most popular, or some of those people in most cases, in some cases, you know, end up not figuring it out after high school, because at the end of the day, we all go through that little phase after that high school. You know, that high school graduation is like, oh, okay, it's fun. Holy shit, what do I do?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell do I do now? So, going through that, I think is super important for you to kind of start figuring out life. And I think also a lot of people need to be a little bit more patient too, because I feel like I didn't really figure it out. Like, I didn't really mentally, my mental game wasn't there where I needed it to be to become successful, to take those steps in that direction, until I was probably like 26 or 27, you know, or maybe 25 actually. Sorry, 25, because it was when I got to Miami. But it wasn't until then that I was like, holy shit, I've been wasting time. You know, I've been wasting time this whole time. So since I figured it out, it's more like a catch-up game now, you know?
Yeah.
And when you have that mentality instilled in you from growing up, you know, from parents that have that instilled in them, that work ethic, that hustle, I think it's really hard for you to lose.
Yeah.
You know?
And like I said, like going back to my dad, like even when I do, like, because you have those days, I mean, everybody has those days where, you know, you don't want to get out of bed. It's just like,
right.
You're so like stressed out with like.
So I had one of those today.
Like, it's like your day to day, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that you don't have the love and passion for your profession. It's just that there's some days where you just feel like crap, man, and you just don't feel like getting out of bed. And, you know, those are some of the days where my dad's like, hey, like, you can't give up. You gotta keep going. Like, you gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. So that's something, like, even if I thought of giving up at one point, you know, people like you, that you're one of my friends, like, hey, don't give up. And my parents, like, you know, you have so much kind of weight behind your back that you kind of just push yourself forward.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm gonna get through this day some way or somehow. I need to get through this day.
There's no other option. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have that mentality, like, what else am I gonna do? You know, like, what else is there to do? I could either not do it and just be average, which we talked about last podcast with our last guest, being average. What's the point of waking up for that purpose, you know?
Yeah.
Be the best, and even if you're the best second, number 2, you know, the best number 10 in the company or in your business, but as long as you're the best of whatever you can do, whatever you can be, then, I mean, that's only going to take you as far as you want it to go. You know?
Yeah, and that's why, like, I think you have to believe, you know, there's ranks of people, you know, like number 1, number 2, like in sales, especially like when we were like a diamond. Obviously, you had like your top sellers, and then you had your lower sellers. Obviously, everybody was trying to target to be the top seller of the kiosk you were at or the store you were at. So like I think that, like, that drive, you know. That's like
competition.
About, yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just a culture.
That's something that I kind of like did like about that. And when I went in there, it was kind of like you wanted to be like the best at your store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it was mad competition.
Yeah,
there. It was
exactly.
fun.
And
it was super fun.
It was super fun. And like the whole like being competitive probably like benefited the company, because that means that everybody was selling.
It 110% benefited the whole company.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when you're driven like that, and like I say, and I told you about this, like one of the persons I listen to on my down days is I listen to like Andy Frisilla. You know, we talked about him.
I met him. I met him in February. He's a dope dude.
Yeah, dude, it's
really
awesome.
Cool.
So
intense.
So his whole thing was like you gotta wake up when you don't feel like waking up, and you gotta go to work when you don't feel like. Because when you feel like doing it, you're gonna give it 100%. But what about those days where you don't feel like giving?
You're gonna half-ass.
Yeah.
You know?
So like it's those days that really make somebody. You know what I mean? Like and talking about like bigger chains that we talked about, like I'm pretty sure like your McDonald's, your Burger King didn't happen overnight. Like you know,
everything started small. You know.
Yeah.
Every business started somewhere.
Yeah.
And
it's the drive behind it is how big do you want to get the small business.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So definitely not too there. Kind of going back to the school thing, I have a kind of question for you, because I feel like right now in 2018, April 25th, 2018, I feel like technology is taking over everything. It's taking over entire spectrum.
It's facilitating a lot of things.
So, you as a entrepreneur, as a business owner, and also you as a graduate, as somebody that has a degree in college, I feel like nowadays entrepreneurs have it instilled also in their head, like, school, you don't need school, you don't have to go to school and get in debt. You can start a business without a degree. Mm-hmm. Knowing that you're kind of in both worlds, you have that business entrepreneurial background, you also have a degree, you've done both,
Yeah.
has your mentality changed, or what do you feel, or how do you feel towards people getting or going to college to get a degree if they want to start a business?
So before, like I said, when I was doing my basics, it's kind of like doing your basics,
right.
And you have to determine what you really want to major in, and I decided to go with entrepreneurship. I didn't even know they had something like that at Utep.
Bro, I wish they had that with me, like when I was there.
And you know what, man? It was something that I just wanted a sense of accomplishment. I wanted a sense of going to school and finishing something that you started. And it took, and I didn't do it in 4 years. It probably took me like 6 years because I took breaks, throughout.
Right.
One thing I do.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little
break.
Peñasco.
Yeah. Puerto Peñasco, a little bit of trip here and there because you need those stress, right? Get the stress out for a little bit. Yeah. So would I say to go to school? Yes and no. I feel like I did gain a lot from going to school, and I think it's got to do a lot with...
In this podcast, we don't sugarcoat anything, so be real. Be real with these people. They want to know.
Definitely. So, I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm in the middle, kind of, and I'm going to tell you straight out why.
Okay.
Yes, you do. It does take time. A lot of people tell you, like, well, I'm going to go 4 years of school. I could probably start a business and in 4 years be something bigger than when it started. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Definitely, yes, you can. And there's a lot of... big time business owners that are in the top 20 of Forbes magazine that don't have a college degree, or they dropped out. Great for them, it's awesome. But for me, I think I did need some polishing. I did need, like I said, I didn't come from, my mom and dad kind of like had me when they were really young, so they went straight to the hustle. So when I went to college, it was kind of like they didn't even know what kind of advice to give me, and I'm the eldest in my family. I have a younger sister, so I didn't even have a brother or sister to tell me like, hey, should I go to college,
Right.
And kind of going back to what we talked about right now, was like, oh, I graduated today from high school, like what's next, you know what I mean? Yeah. So definitely, I'm a little bit in the middle because I do believe you can start a business, but you really have to be committed 100%. And I feel like with a lot of those millennials, and I'm probably like bounce into that category a little bit, is that
you are a millennial.
Yeah,
we are millennials.
Yeah, exactly. Is the fact that we want success quick.
Right.
Why?
People want success overnight.
Exactly, and it's not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And through my education at Utep I was able to get these finances classes, these accounting classes, these fundamentals that can't be. You could teach yourself definitely, but if you have a good instructor, and I was fortunate to have one of my professors from UTEP, his name's Professor Diaz. He taught all the entrepreneurial courses, and what I liked about him was that he actually went out to the business world, came back to school, kind of like the same, and he said 100%, like having these fundamentals definitely help.
Yeah, of course. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Knowledge is
exactly.
knowledge.
And I mean, at the end of the day, when you do graduate, you get a piece of paper that says, hey, you completed these amount of hours and congratulations. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes it does come with a little bit of debt, a lot of debt. It just depends. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Depends on what you're going for. And again, this is just to say, my question is directed at, do you need a degree? Would you suggest somebody having to get a degree if they wanted to start a business? Because again, there's obviously a lot of career paths that require school.
Exactly.
And you have to go to school for them if you're going to be a doctor, if you're going to be an architect. But, and you're answering it. I just wanted to clarify that for the listeners.
So yeah, to clarify on the aspect, for the business aspect, no. I would say no, because when you're gonna be a doctor, you have to go to school. You're not gonna walk in and do open heart surgery and just say, hey, let me wing it. You know what I mean? Like, let me see if I can do it.
Pull up YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Pull up a YouTube video. What does he need? I think there's a video for that.
Let me Google it. Let me Google it real quick. You know, so I was saying no, and actually before when I was going to school, I thought about the same thing, man. I was like, what if I just drop out and go to business now? You know what I mean?
Right.
But like going back to the same thing, like once I started that, I kind of want to have the sense of accomplishment that I started school and I finished it. And that's what I'm telling you. Like, if you're gonna be a business owner, no, you do not, unless you want the fundamentals behind it and learn how to run a business. But I'm not saying that you cannot not go to school and learn that on your own.
Yeah.
And you're probably maybe you're gonna learn the hard way because oh man, I didn't know that, and you're gonna get hit.
Right.
And you have to be ready to hit back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to be ready to get up.
Exactly.
You know, when you get hit.
Because for me, like even with my knowledge that I gained through my education, even then I still fall back and I'm like, oh wait, I didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or certain aspects of the business. So, but to start a business, I definitely would say no, and I think it's proven like in Forbes magazine, like the top probably 20, 30 within those don't have a college degree.
Right.
You know, but they're heavy hitters. They went out and
they got work ethic. They
exactly.
drive.
Exactly.
And to kind of talk on that work ethic, you know, a lot of people don't understand work ethic. They don't understand how much work it actually takes to be successful. And that's actually why I feel like I actually wanted to start that vlog. You know, I have a day in the life vlog that comes out on YouTube. But the whole purpose of that is to show what happens aside from the pictures of us at the title company getting paid.
Like behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
What happens after that house is posted brand new on the market? What happens before you closed and got your check, you know? So we show raw footage last night, right, Sosa? We were working until what, 9? It's pretty much 9. We were at a listing appointment, 9 o'clock at night, walked out, finished doing you know, a whole presentation for somebody wanting to sell their house. But it's work ethic. It's showing, you know, what has to happen behind the scenes if you do want to be a successful realtor, if you do want to be a successful business owner, you know.
And it goes in play if you want to be, you know, in the NFL or in the NBA, like these athletes, they have to put in work, you know. Like you might think you're good, but I'm pretty sure there's someone better. So what are you gonna do to get at their level and to be able to go into the NFL or, you know, National League? So work ethic is key, you know. So like I said, I do believe you can start a business without an education. It's just, for me, it was a sense of accomplishment, and I just wanted to get some knowledge, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And there's nothing wrong with college. I went to college, went to school for psychology. Nothing wrong with school, you know. But once I figured it out, what I wanted to do, I was like, I didn't even need school the whole time. I wish I figured it out before. But again, these are all little stepping stones. I feel everything happens for a reason. I went to school for a reason. Border Patrol didn't hire me for a reason. You know, that girl broke up with me 8 years ago for that reason. You know, so all those things happen for a reason. So, but that's cool, man. I'm glad that you're here now. You've become a business owner. You've become, you know, an entrepreneur. What is one of the biggest successes that you've had as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? Whoa, shit.
Pen flew right there. I guess one of my successes, man, was basically...
The biggest success. The most exciting, you know, the most exciting day of your life where you're like, fuck, holy shit, you know, like...
So, I guess after school, that was one of my accomplishments that I wanted to finish, so I felt really good about that. But in the business sense was when I finally was able to save enough money to be able to open fresh car wash and barbershop. You know, going down to the city and being able to like file and you know, do the behind the scenes to start a business.
How long did it take you from the moment that you decided I want to do fresh out? How long did it take you to save up and to do all the city thing? How long was that process?
Like while I was still going to school, because I had already done like kind of a small business plans on a scale basis, and I had the idea probably, it was like probably like, I graduated about a year ago, so I'm still like fresh out of college. Like I said, I did take breaks in between, so I got my college degree. So I'd say like from last December, it's barely, it was in December, and I didn't start my business till about July. So it was about what, like a little bit over like 6 months more or less, around there. So I started saving up some money, and throughout going to school, I was still working with my dad and stuff like that, managing the family business. So I was able to kind of just save, you know, a little bit here and there. And then I did have to get a loan because you need other stuff. So I got a small loan, which it's not easy to get unless you have, some type of background or something, and fortunately I was granted a small loan. It's not a huge loan, but it was enough to just kind of get started, and so like for me, like getting that paper, knowing that like I had to file for like barbershop licenses. I didn't even know you need a barber license to open a barbershop. I know you need a barber, like to be a barber and cut, yes, but I didn't know like for me,
yourself.
Like
it's like having a liquor license.
Exactly. Like exactly. So like I guess that was one of my most successful, and I hope to bring more success, and that's what I'm excelling to. Like, maybe we sit down, I don't know, a year from today on our Whiskey Wednesday, maybe follow up, and I tell you, hey man,
definitely.
You know what I mean?
We've actually talked about follow ups. We're episode number 6 right now. Hoping to go to episode.
So like I said, my
1 million.
So like, so definitely like maybe I haven't, like my success right now is being able to start, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people won't take that risk and start.
Right.
So
a lot of people are scared.
Yeah.
I think fear is one of the biggest deterrents to success. A lot of people are too scared to take that next step, to put all chips in, And I feel like the best decisions of my life have been when I've put all in. I've gone all in. Moving to Florida, went all in. Moving back, went all in again,
Yeah.
Changing career paths, changing everything. But I think the best things in life happen when you take a shot, when you fucking say fuck it to fear, you know, and you just take that opportunity. Because at the end of the day, if you're working at Chick-fil-A, and I only said because I work there, if you're working at Chick-fil-A and you want to start your own business, or you want to, work for free for the next year because you're gonna work under, an architect or somebody that you're gonna learn from. If you're gonna get a mentor, I mean, take that step, because at the end of the day, if you need to go back to Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A's there, and that opportunity that you have to take that step is not always gonna be there.
Exactly. Yeah, the window could close, and actually going back to like the location to my shop had been leased for like the longest time, and it just happened to be that I went down that road that one day that I had to do some title work, and I rent and for lease.
It's that law of attraction.
And it was crazy, man. Like I pulled over, got the phone number, and I said, hey, when can we check out this place and let's sign the lease? You know what I mean? And just upon that time,
everything kind of lined up.
Yeah, everything lined up, bro. I went in there, and like when you go to a barbershop, they have like where like they wash your hair, right? The connection was there. I had to it was like meant to be, man. It's crazy because most barbershops they actually had to put some plumbing in to be able to put that. I mean, it's not major plumbing work,
right?
But it does. But it was right there. Like all I had to do was buy like the wash bowl and stuff like that. So I think everything aligned. So going back to that, like I think that's one of my early successes right now.
And like actually starting the business.
Yeah, actually starting the business, because I wouldn't say it's 100% successful, because it's still like, in the process, in the making of like.
I think it takes a couple of years, honestly, in my opinion, for a business to become successful. Because to be successful, I think, is turning profit. And let's be real, and not every business doesn't make money their first year, but in reality, statistically speaking, a lot of businesses don't make profit for their first 2-3 years. You know, it takes eating shit for that period of time to go through that stage where you're getting known and getting your name out there, and having people come in and tell you about your experience and getting better and growing, and then you become successful.
Exactly. So like that's why I mentioned like one of my successes is being able to face my fear and go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because like I said, at the end of the day, you could fail, you could be really good, but you don't know. So why not take that one risk?
You never know until
exactly. So that's one of my early successes right now.
David owns Fresh Out Car Wash and Barbershop. He also owns a clothing line, which he's going to talk about in just a second. And he's also a Utep graduate. So let me get my eyes right. We got a lot of cameras on.
I know over here.
There's a lot of cameras on right now. So we're going to be talking a little bit about his story. We're going to be asking him some questions. If you guys have any questions, drop them here in the comments and we'll be answering them as we go. But David just kind of finished talking a little bit about, when he first opened his business at Fresh Out Car Wash and Barbershop, you know, the time that it took him to save the money to start his business, and kind of a little bit about his backstory. So we were kind of going over some of his successes. One of his biggest successes was actually opening the doors, right, to Fresh Out.
Exactly.
So a question that I have for you is, what is one of your biggest failures? What has been one of your biggest lessons as a business owner? You know, you're 6 months, 7 months in,
Yes.
right, with Fresh Out Barbershop and Car Wash. So what has been one of the biggest lessons that you've learned?
So throughout the 7 months, I think one of the aspects that I've had a really hard time with was getting reliable people to work for you. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of business owners have that problem. When I went, like I said, I'm not a barber myself, so I'm thinking here of like hiring barbers, right? And I think that's not going to be hard. Actually, that's one of the toughest things to do, is get good, reliable barbers to help you out your shop. You know,
Get a good team. You have to have a good team.
Exactly. I do have one that's like a third generation barber. His dad, his uncle, has been cutting hair, so he's one of my main ones. But and my barbershop's not too big because I'm still focusing on the car wash. It's only
How many seats do you have right
I
now?
have three.
Three?
Yeah, so I'm trying to go for like that. You know, a lot of barbershops now have like 8, 10 stations. I'm trying to just keep it to 3. You know, kind of like the old-fashioned barbershop, you tell like 3, 4 maybe at the most. I mean, and again, like I'm trying to focus around the whole, like, it's a barbershop car wash. You know, I'm not trying to make it all barbershop or all car wash. So I kind of want a little bit.
You want everybody to know that while you're getting your hair cut, while you're getting fresh, drop your car off. While you're getting fresh, while you're getting a fresh cut, you're gonna.
So you're gonna be fresh out.
Car.
You're gonna be fresh out when you drive out.
That's why you came up with that name.
Yep.
Fresh Out. Cool. So, one of your biggest failures has been finding the team. Do you feel like you have a good team right now in place, or is that still kind of an ongoing search for you?
It's still an ongoing search. Because I do have my one reliable barber. One's a part-time because she's still a student and stuff like that. She's going to school, and she's a cosmetologist. She's a really good barber as well. But I wouldn't say I have a complete team. It's a work in progress, you know, and it's something that I've struggled with. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this, Manny. Like, they've opened like so many barbershops throughout the city, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially going far east and stuff. Mine's central. Mine's kind of like the old El Paso kind of. But I think when
what's your location?
It's 5025 Trowbridge Drive. The most I guess common way to get to my shop, I usually tell people, is we're right by Loretto Academy. It's an all-girls school. I think it used to be an all-girls school. It's like a block away from there. So
I think Sosa went there. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So that's like the nearest like big thing near us. Because I'm really central. And I actually like the fact that we're central because I feel like people from the east and the west side, you know, since like the city is growing so large, you know, east and now far west, that like central's expanding. Like I went to Eastwood High School, man, and it's like Eastwood used to be like the far east back in the day. Yeah. And now it's like, if you think about it, like Eastwood's like kind of like central now.
That's more of the heart of east side, you know.
So when I opened my shop, the reason why I did is because I like the location. It's kind of like a vintage look to it, stuff like that. So, and it's centralized, so I thought, you know what, I could still get some people from the northeast, east, west. Like I said, obviously it's going to be through marketing and stuff. I believe if you do a good job at what you do, people will come to you. Obviously a lot of people try to go east because that's kind of where it's expanding, it's growing.
Yeah, far east.
Yeah, exactly.
You're thinking about buying a house in the far east, you know who to contact.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of growth right now. El Paso's definitely pouring a lot of money out there to the far east side. But I think still those central areas are still, you know, that's where I feel like all the best barbers are.
Yeah.
Central, northeast. So definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, for the most part, because like the northeast, they've had barbershop for a longer amount of time than the far east. You know, not to bad down on the far east. I'm pretty sure there's good barbershops, you know, around the city, but. Me being new to the barber business and stuff like that, it's been quite a challenge, man. And I mean, going back to the same thing, it's one of, I would call it maybe like a partial failure, maybe like not preparing myself well enough, knowing that it's easy to get barbers, but no, because you need good, reliable, good service, because at the end they're the image of my shop,
Right.
Technically, I'm not. If I would cut hair, I would tell you I could be the barber, the only barber there, or me and another guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason behind it is like I'm not a barber, So I need these really consistent.
You need people that
consistent,
specialize
reliable,
in that,
exactly.
yeah. So would you say for somebody that is thinking about starting a barbershop, or one day starting a barbershop, would you say maybe before you take that step, maybe establish or get yourself a good team,
yes,
a good foundation, that of people that are going to be able to brand themselves and bring business into your...
I mean, think of it this way: most barbers are the ones that want to open a barbershop. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not as common for me. Like, I'm not a barber,
right?
But I want to open a barbershop and I want to combine both because I think the concept was cool. But most barbers do want to open a barbershop. They want to be their own boss, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to have that because you already have kind of yourself to be able to have a barber there. You know what I mean? Right. And then you probably know a good group of barbers that have maybe went to school with you or have cut with you. So that's why it's been one of my early struggles, and maybe like an early failure to this. And like I said, it's something that I'm working through. Yeah. And it's gonna be trial by error. I'm gonna hire somebody, I'm gonna have a barber, and then with that comes consistency.
Right. And I think everybody goes through that, starting a business, getting a team in general, because I remember when I did go out to Florida, and I had to open up stores, I had to recruit, I had to hire. So I was always sitting in interviews and asking people, all these questions, but I was always worried that I was going to make the wrong decision and hire somebody that, I was going to regret later. I think going and starting a business and growing a business, it's important to have a good team behind you. And I even see it now with real estate. I'm a listing agent for Pacifica Homes, out in the Far East Side, Horizon, and the West Side. And, having a team that can be at the models to sell all of our inventory, all of our product is super important, because one, you want people that are hungry. You want people that are going to put 110% effort when they're there, because not only are they representing themselves, they're representing the builder, but they're also part of your team, and your brand. So at the end of the day, finding a good team is super important. I've been blessed in real estate. I actually have a badass team. We're selling out subdivisions like crazy. All of my team, I feel, understands where social media is at right now.
Yep.
In this day and age right now, I think social media is just overpowering every single medium that's out there, and that's why we start these podcasts, and that's why we go live on Instagram and Facebook, and start a vlog on YouTube, and go on Snapchat. That's why we're doing all that stuff, because everybody's attention's everywhere. So kind of going towards your business, what are you doing right now to market or to push your name out there? What is advertising or marketing like for you in your business?
So as far as my marketing, word of mouth, usually going back, you need to have a good team, because somebody that walks in there for a haircut, they like it, they like the car wash, they're going to come back, they're going to tell their friends. So word of mouth is never going to get old. Obviously that works. The other thing is social media. Going back to that's why you say you're doing these podcasts and stuff like that, just to kind of get people, in your environment. Teach them who I am, teach them who Manny Carrera is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do utilize Instagram, Facebook. I'll set promos some days. I have like on Tuesdays, I have 2 for $22. So you get your car wash, like an exterior wash, and your haircut for $22.
That's not bad.
So it's 2 for $22.
Vintage is like $13, no?
Yeah,
for like a good one. Like a good.
Yeah, that ballpark. I mean, all of ours are hand wash as well.
Nice.
So it's not machine wash. It's
so you guys do interior detail as well?
Exactly. So like we do auto detailing, and we actually do it for local dealerships as well. Going back to the background like of my dad's business, we still have some of that work going on there. So we do full service detailing too. It's not only your regular car wash, but we do like shampoo, seats, carpets, hand wax, buff, polish, paint correction. We do
anything and everything.
Exactly. It's anything to make your car look brand new again. You know what I mean? So
got that new car set?
Yes, sir.
That's cool.
Can even do that too, Paulie.
Yeah. I definitely need to hit you up. I just got back from Arizona, and I popped open my engine, my hood, my engine is brown.
Yeah, you know what, man?
Dusty.
A lot of people, for the most part, you go get an oil change somewhere and stuff. You probably never look under your hood, and then when you actually pop it up, you're like, oh man, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really gets dirty over there.
Yeah. So Kyle Busy, am I saying your name? Kyle Busy commented, "Man, that's cheap. I get my haircut for $30.
Yeah.
2 for 20. 2 for 20.
Two for 20.
2 for 22.
$2, but yeah, 2 for 22.
Manny's gonna owe you $22 every client that goes.
So Manny owe me $2 on everybody that comes over. But
get that head count.
I mean, that's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's on Tuesdays. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And how it has running that promo on Tuesday? How has that affected your business? Have you seen more traffic going in on those days?
Definitely. I have. We see a new face every day. Maybe it's not like 10 new faces, but we are getting even one new face is good, and we service them good. They like our work, and they're gonna go tell their friends. They're gonna come back.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2 for 22 Tuesdays, 5025 Trowbridge. You guys gotta come check us out. Definitely.
That's cool. So for you guys that are just chiming in right now, live on Instagram, Facebook, those of you that are watching right now on YouTube and listening on iTunes, right now we're sitting with David Trejo. He's a El Paso raised,
Yeah.
El Paso entrepreneur. He's a business owner. He's also a Utep graduate. If you guys have any questions for the people that are live right now, drop them. We'll be answering your questions. Right now we're talking a little bit about David's story, his business, opening up the business. So not only are you a business owner of Fresh Out Car Wash and Barbershop, we got the 2 for 22 deal going on every Tuesday. Get your car wash and your haircut for $22.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. But you're also a UTEP graduate, right? You graduated with a
entrepreneurship degree. It's business with a focus in entrepreneurship.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a degree in entrepreneurship and business. And you also have a clothing line, right? So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your clothing line.
So the clothing line is something that I'm partner in with. I have a partner in this one. It's called ITM Apparel. So we do have a lot of local brands coming up. You see a lot of them coming up. For me, I wanted more than just a brand. I wanted a meaning behind it.
Right.
And being the entrepreneur that I am, and trying to make something happen. Trying to take these risks. ITM stands for in the making.
In the making.
Yeah. So let me tell you, Manny, for you, when you went into real estate, you were maybe new to it, but you were in the making. You were trying to make yourself a better real estate agent.
Brand new in the making. I actually wish we started this podcast, this vlog, the day I got my license, to show everybody, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing at all. I literally got my license and I called my best friend. Yeah, I called my best friend Ricardo. He's a realtor here, and I was like, so I passed my test. What do I do now? Super scary, I didn't know what to do, and so go continue saying.
Yeah. So with the apparel, it was like I wanted a meaning behind it, because you see a lot of brands out there. It's cool, it's hip, it's what's in, but sometimes the names don't have no meaning and stuff. And for me, it was like I wanted something entrepreneurial,
right? Something
a grinder, a hustler would do. So in the making, it applies for anybody.
Tell your story.
Yeah. So it's like if you want to be a doctor and you're going to school, you're in the making. If you're trying to be the next Michael Jordan and you're in high school and you're kind of grinding and
it's the journey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you're shooting and trying to perfect your shot. You're in the making. You're in that process. You're in the process of becoming something big in whatever profession that you pick. And I feel like it doesn't only apply for entrepreneurs, but it also applies for any profession. Because at the end of the day, it's what you like, what makes you happy, what makes you want to get up in the morning, and stuff like that. So. And ITM, so the symbol behind it, everybody.
It's a key, right?
Yeah, it's a key. So a lot of people tell me, why did you pick a key? Because I think you got to find that one key, and you got to exploit it and find success. So it's like the key to success. Like, what's your key? The key is your profession.
Right. What's your purpose?
Yeah. What's your purpose?
What's your reason?
What are you trying to do with your life, with your income? Are you happy with your income, or you're not happy with your income? What are you going to do to maybe make some more money,
right.
Maybe live a different style of life that you want, what I mean?
Right.
Not because you were born, in a middle class family, you want to stay middle class. Maybe you want to go more, do more, stuff like that. Or like I said, maybe you don't have an athlete, you don't have someone that's an athlete in the NFL, but you want to be the first one out of El Paso being an athlete in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what do these kids do? What do we do? What do? You gotta wake up every morning and you're in the making every day.
You're finding it. You're looking for that thing, you know.
Exactly.
And sometimes you think you know what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're working somewhere and you're like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. 3 months later, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this no more.
This is exactly not what I want to do.
This is exactly what I didn't want to do. So knowing that, I think that's crazy. I've known about your brand. I did not know that story. That's
so
that's
a
pretty
lot of
badass.
people people don't know what ITM stands for, and honestly, Manny, is something maybe that I kind of lacked right now, and it's something I'm gonna start working towards is promoting more of the name of the stuff behind it. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the logo's pretty cool, the key stuff like that, but I
think the meaning behind it tells, like, a lot of people could relate to it.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's something that a lot of people have told me. Like, people that tell about the brand and stuff like that, like, oh man, I thought it's more than just a brand. It's something that I could relate to, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody could be a part of it, you know?
Definitely.
And but that's awesome, bro. That's awesome that you have that story behind it. And hopefully, with this podcast, with this YouTube channel, we get you some more exposure on what you're doing. I think you're doing a really good job, and right now you are in the process. And that's the whole, once everybody checks out your full podcast next Wednesday, they're going to be able to see, your full story. They're going to be able to see that you actually right now are living behind your brand, so.
And
really cool.
I mean, we talked about this earlier, like your day to day, like when you do your vlogs, like people don't know behind the scenes stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they just see like, oh, it's a dope barbershop, it was cool, like, but the work to open it, like my apparel company, like I was trial and error, I wanted like good like material, stuff like that, and sometimes you don't like it and you have to toss it and you lose some money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So like everything is a process, everything is, how you say, like
it's a process. There's a long story behind every person's success, and that is why I don't think we were live, but that is the purpose of us even starting a vlog. Me and my marketing team, because at the end of the day, there's so many people that want to get the real estate license. They see on Instagram everybody that's taking pictures at the title company closing deals, and it's fun and it's cool, and real estate is rewarding if you work really, really, really hard at it. So that's one thing that I for sure wanted to show with this vlog on YouTube, day in the life. The work that goes behind it. Yesterday, we were talking about this right now on the podcast, but yesterday we were at a listing presentation. We left at 9:00 at night. That's what it takes for you to be successful in this industry. So that's one thing that I definitely want to show with this vlog, is the hard work and the hustle
and the hour, the amount of hours.
Yeah, definitely. There's times where most of the time my first meal isn't until around 5.
Yeah.
Super unhealthy, don't do that. But it is what it is,
But I could definitely relate. Sometimes you're so caught up on your day to day that, like, damn, I haven't even eaten, you know what I mean? So definitely not healthy, but I think once you're in your mood of like selling, showing a house, and you have to cater to your customers. It's not all about like, it's not about you. You gotta kind of cater to your customers.
Definitely.
And it kind of like what you said right now, Manny, about like if you put dedication into the hard work, it's gonna pay off. You can't expect to get your real estate license or open a business and, well, I opened it and it's gonna be good on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no, it's gonna.
That's the first step.
Yeah,
it's one of the first steps.
Exactly. Once you get the keys to your new business or you sell, or you're selling a house or whatever, like it's behind the scenes. It's like, what are you doing to be able to get this house sold? Yes, how you said, like sometimes when you finish, you saw a picture of like at the titling company and all real estate agents do. It's an accomplishment. It's great that you got somebody into their house.
Right.
But what was the work behind it? How many houses did you have to show them?
A shitload.
To find them the one.
Sometimes it takes months, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why I talk so much about setting the right expectations. If you are going to get your real estate license, have money saved, because at the end of the day, you may have leads lined up once you get your license, and people are waiting for you to get your license, and that's cool. But you're forgetting that it's still going to take you 2 months, 3 months to find them that house. And then it's going to take you another month to get paid, minimum, another month to get paid for that house. So,
and that's probably the reason why a lot of real estate agents quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of,
because maybe they didn't set their money up, or they thought like, I'm gonna go into real estate and sell like 10 houses tomorrow and get paid.
That doesn't. Well, that could happen.
It could happen
with a lot of fucking work, But I mean, that's the whole vlog thing is for people to see what we do, for people to see what realtors do, but it's also for other agents to see. And I'm not saying I'm doing the best, you know, I'm not the number one agent in El Paso yet, but I can say that the direction that I'm headed with everything that we're doing with my team, we're gonna hit it. You know, we're gonna be the best. We're gonna have the number one real estate YouTube channel in the nation. We're gonna have the number one real estate podcast channel. And this isn't even really a podcast about real estate. This is just, you know, highlighting people, movers, shakers, people that are doing big things in the city and out of the city. Because we have some big interviews lined up, you know, with big time influencers out of the city. But it's all about just shining light on what people are doing, how people are seeing success, and sharing it with everybody that's watching. Because at the end of the day, you know, this podcast may only reach 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. But if the message that you have right now, you know, your message as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, somebody that's seen success, somebody that's seen failure, if your message can resonate with somebody on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, you know, that's good, you know, because you're able to change somebody's life or give that one little piece of advice that's going to save somebody a couple $1,000s down the road. License, I'm barber and I want to start a team, I want to get my own business. Let me figure out the team thing first, you know, because David's podcast shared that. So,
and I mean, through these failures you learn, and how he talked about it, you gotta get up and keep going, you know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, is that went back to like the fundamentals, that team and stuff like that. But yeah, like you are right, like based on our experience, could help somebody else that's trying to be a real estate agent like you, or somebody trying to open a barbershop like the one I opened, you know what I mean? And definitely, like I even do it myself. Like I'll look for influencers and stuff, either to social media or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all about networking, especially if you do want to be successful. You hear it all the time. Your net worth, and everything like that. But you know, building relationships with people, not just that are successful, but just any and every person. You know, everybody I think has something to offer,
or something that they already went through and they could guide you.
Definitely.
You know, that's why there's mentors, and that's why there's like. I'm 27, you know, and relatively we're still young compared to somebody that maybe went through this like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're ahead of your time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and for those realtors, I actually, when I started, I mean, we're all independent contractors, but when I started real estate, I actually paid money, thousands of dollars, to learn off of somebody else's mistakes. Thousands of dollars I paid in my first 2 months of being in real estate, you know? But I figured, okay, if I spend a couple $1,000s to learn off somebody else's mistakes that cost them even more thousands of dollars, that in turn is going to save me money, but most importantly, time. I'm not going to have to go through those fuck ups, through those errors. I'm not going to have to go through that one deal and not know what to do, you know? So if you are a real estate agent, if you are thinking about being a business owner, opening your own barbershop, sit with somebody that's doing it. Learn from somebody that's doing it, you know, because at the end of the day, the most successful people in anything in life didn't become successful off of learning off their own mistakes. They were learning off other people's mistakes as they went too, you know. I
mean, you ultimately do learn from yours, but it's nice to maybe even learn even before that, even before you fall through that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, because you are gonna face your own mistakes and stuff like that, but it's also nice to maybe have some guidance so you don't fall into those mistakes, because the less mistakes, maybe you'll become successful a lot faster than like taking the long road, you know what I mean? Yeah. to that. So definitely, man.
And for those of you that have been keeping up with our podcast, with our YouTube channel, the people that we have on this show are influencers, are business owners, are entrepreneurs, you know, people doing big things in the city. And for those of you that have been watching, you guys should be able to start sensing a little trend of all the people that are coming on the show. Everybody's saying, you know, work with somebody. Don't do it on your own. Push through all the toughness. It's going to be hard if you are trying to be successful. There's going to be people, you know, in your circle, I'm sure, that are going to put you down and bring you down and you know, kind of stop you or want to stop you from seeing that success. But it's all about auditing your circle, pushing forward through all that noise, through all that, the hardship of seeing that success and really putting 110% of your effort into everything that you're doing right now, So cool. So Jennifer underscore V22. What's up, Jennifer? Yes, I love the positivity. You're doing great things and can't wait to hit you up when I'm ready to look for a house. Jennifer, I'm ready to help you whenever you're ready. Thank you for watching. Josecito, what's up, brother? He just checked out our last podcast. Had some good things to say too. So hopefully you guys get to check out the next podcast coming out next Wednesday with David Trejo. You guys are gonna be able to hear his entire story. We've been probably talking for what, Sosa? I'm always asking you this. A good hour?
Yeah, a good hour.
Yeah, a good hour. Good interview so far. Before we end, I have a couple more questions for you. But anybody that does have any questions on live, drop them here. And if you have any questions for David about starting a business, about entrepreneurship, anything like that, he's here to answer them. So real quick, David, for you, where can people find you on social media? Where can people, if they want to get in contact with you, aside from just Google, where can they find you on social media?
So obviously my personal one is David Trejo with double O. David underscore Trejo with a double O. That's my personal. I don't mind, if you have any questions with regards to entrepreneurship, starting a business, or you want to come check out my shop, you could definitely shoot me a message through there. I also have my Instagrams and my Facebook for my business. It's under Fresh Out 915 on Instagram, and it's Fresh Out Car Wash and Barbershop on Facebook. So either one of those, shoot us a message if you have any questions about our services, anything like that. And like I said, on the personal aspect, if you guys are starting a business and have maybe want to bounce off ideas and stuff like that, I'm totally open to it. It's something that I like to do. And being here with Manny, we go back to those days we used to hustle at Diamond and stuff. Like, same thing. You want to surround yourself with those kind of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are who you hang out with. You know what I mean? And definitely you want to hang out with influencers, movers, shakers, entrepreneurs, if that's what you're seeking to do. So yeah, I definitely encourage to just drop a message to me, any questions, anything like that. I'm open to anything, man.
Cool. So really quick, what's one message that you just want people to leave with today? From the entire podcast, we've gone through a whole bunch, and again, make sure you guys check out this podcast. Chris Gill. Make sure you guys check out this podcast next week, the full episode with David Trejo and his story. So David, what's that one takeaway that you want people to leave this interview with, this podcast with?
Take risks. Take that risk. Go after your dreams. You are in the making. Everybody's in the making. So pick that one thing that you love to do and exploit it to the max. Give it 101%. Like I said, work ethic is going to be knowledge any day. Obviously gaining knowledge is great, but give it 100% even when you don't feel like giving it 100%.
100%. Hashtag red 100.
Yes.
That's real. So for sure, man, appreciate you being on our podcast. Want to end real quick. Obviously, I'm a real estate agent and I love the El Paso market. So what in El Paso, what in El Paso right now is your kind of obsession? What is one place, restaurant, bar, one place that you are super in love with right now that you're just happy to be at? Your happy place in El Paso, what place is that?
Well, actually, I picked up on golf a little bit, something that my dad used to do back in the day, and I was like, seems boring, you know what I mean? But
bro, golf is fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this.
And I'm trying to get better because I'm not that good.
Yeah, I'll help you. I was actually in the golf team in high school. Nobody believes me. Everybody thinks I'm a liar. Nobody believes me until you see me hit the ball.
Yeah, watch him swing and then you see. But actually, I enjoy going to Topgolf, man. It's one of the new attractions. I had been to the one in San Antonio and Dallas, and I was really excited when they were bringing it here. And it's pretty cool, man. I like going there a lot with a couple of friends, stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to go, bro.
Yeah, I know, huh?
We need to go for sure. I love Topgolf. We actually did a Topgolf giveaway last month. Yeah. It was really cool. We gave away a $150 gift card.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Yeah, I think I saw it.
We did a raffle. It was so funny. It was a random raffle. We recorded everything. put everybody's name in the hat, and we picked a name, and it was my aunt.
I saw that. I was like, Manny probably just give it to his aunt, but I was like, you recorded everything.
But we recorded. That's why I recorded everything, because I knew my family was playing too, and I was like, everybody's gonna hate me.
It's gonna be like this guy just picked his aunt.
Yeah, everybody's gonna hate me. That's so funny.
No, definitely not. So Top I mean, is one of the newest attractions. So I do enjoy going there. I mean, baseball games aren't bad. You know, I mean, for El Paso, it's still relatively new. You know what I mean? They've been here for a couple of years now, but
yeah, definitely.
It's awesome going to a game, especially like when you have that long day or that long week of work. You know, you also need to kind of like, you know, take one of those days and kind of just regroup a little bit, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And then get back to the grind.
A little day off, don't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
A little day off, don't hurt nobody. But cool, man. Appreciate you stopping by. This right now is Whiskey Wednesday, episode number 6. So make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday. We're going to be dropping the full interview with David. He's going to be sharing his story on, you know, entrepreneurship, on business ownership, on success, on failures, on a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a really good podcast. So make sure you guys tune in. And David, again, appreciate you stopping by, man. Hopefully you finish your whiskey before we leave.
I know, huh?
It's his first glass of whiskey. It's not my first glass.
Manny's like on his 5th, something like that.
No, it's my second.
Just kidding, just second.
Bro, everybody's gonna think I do this all the time.
Yeah, it's like, no wonder you have whiskey Wednesdays, right? No, just kidding.
But make sure you guys check out our full podcast coming out on iTunes and on YouTube. Next Wednesday, you guys are gonna be able to see David's full story. Also, make sure you guys tune in today. Today, episode number 5 with Famous Loza just dropped. So check out that full episode. Let us know what you guys think. Feedback is always appreciated. I know a lot of people are very new to podcasts. Some of you are probably just watching the podcast episode on YouTube, which is still cool as long as you're watching. But give us some feedback. Let us know, you know, who you guys would like to see on our next interview. We haven't had any females yet. So, you know, definitely want to get some lady entrepreneurs, influencers, movers, and shakers on the show. Hopefully you ladies love whiskey. But overall, what do you think about the interview?
Cool, man. Something I wanted to do is like when I started doing these, I was like, it's be pretty good concept. That's why I reached out to you and stuff like that. And I said, hey, let's make this happen. I think I have a thing or two to share, and you know, going back to us having a friendship from back in the day. So I think
definitely.
I think it's pretty cool you're doing this because, like I said, the city is growing and we want to highlight these movers, these shakers, entrepreneurs, something that's making noise in the city locally.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that are doing a lot of big things here in the city. For those of you that aren't paying attention, El Paso's getting big. El Paso's growing. You know, El Paso's gonna be huge one day. And right now we're in that process. Right now El Paso's in the making.
Yeah. There you go.
Quote. But a beautiful city to be a part of, beautiful city to live in, and definitely a cool, you know, time to live in the city and see it grow. So again, appreciate you being part of episode number 6. Again, make sure you guys check this out live next week as his full episode drops. And let us know if you guys have any other questions. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Melissa, what's up? We're tuning out, Melissa. You tuned in too late. Bye, guys.